Good morning, my kings and queens, on this thankful Thursday. I hope you guys' morning is going good so far. And I am here with your daily devotions. Just thank God for another day. Ask God to order your steps. Um, ask God to keep you throughout the day. Pray throughout the day, because we all need it. And it's funny. One thing we had to do last night at Bible study is we had to pray for someone that we particularly didn't care about, or particularly wasn't too close to, or you know might be upset with them. We had to pray for them, and at the end of Bible study, we had to in our say that person's or people name while whoever was leading the main prayer. We lifted them up in prayer. So, anybody who has hurt you, anybody who just in the last week or two may have gotten on your nerves, somebody you ain't talking to, somebody that, it could be family, friend, whoever. So, we all need prayer. And we need prayer ourselves to let go of that hurt and give it to God. Cast everything at His feet. Give it all to Him. All right, so the daily devotional today is called Spiritual Stamina, and it's coming out of the scripture Philippians 4:19. Excuse me, 4:9, and it reads, "Keep putting into practice all you learn and receive from me, everything you heard from me and saw me doing. Then the God of peace will be with you." And it reads, "What does spiritual stamina look like? Is there a way to build up our spiritual strength so we can endure it? Yes, there is. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. He gives us stamina. How do we build strength? Paul wrote that God's power is found in our weaknesses. As we recognize and embrace our failure and insufficiency, we find strength in God. We must understand who God is and who we are in light of Him. When we humble ourselves, we are strengthened. As we face adversaries, we recognize our inability to handle it alone. God uses those times to build our spiritual stamina and our reliance on Him. Spirituality is all about having a relationship with God. Similarly, when people face trouble in a marriage and work through it together, their marital stamina is strengthened. The next round of difficulty is faced with greater endurance. It is no different with God. Our stamina comes from building a healthy, dependent relationship with Him. Question: how do you rely on God when you are being tested? That is a great question. How do you rely on God when you're being tested? When you are being tested, when it seems like the saying is, it's always something going on. It's always one thing after another. When it seems like it's always one thing after another, that means you are in, I want to say, maybe spiritual warfare. Something's going on. So God got something greater on that end, or maybe it's time for a shift. Maybe it's time for you to change. Maybe listen, God is speaking to you. When are you going to realize that you cannot do this on your own? When are you going to realize? When are you going to realize it? When are you going to realize you cannot walk this life? When are you going to realize I'm the one? God is the one that's supposed to be carrying the burden. Even though our human and our spirit, today human in us, it makes us think about things like, when things can't get done or when stuff is due. And I mean now stuff is due and past due. And it seems like we have to pray with expectations that God is going to do it. And don't worry about yesterday or last week. We got to live in the present. We have to live for today. We have to live for today. Focus on today because tomorrow isn't promised. Tomorrow we have to take it one day at a time, really. I sent out something was sent to me this morning and it was like, always you you wake up, and I try to tell my kids this too, you wake up and you thank God for waking you up because trust me, ain't no alarm. Me coming in the room telling you to wake up, if it's not meant for you to see today, you would not wake up. So it's like we have to get up and thank him and be in awe with him because without him there is no us. So just ask yourself, how do you really rely on God when you're being tested? All right, my kings and queens, well, you guys have a good rest of your day. I'm not sure where you are in the world, but I know it's cold, but it's beautiful out. The skies is blue, the clouds is blooming. But you guys, be safe out there. And I'm out. Peace. Love y'all.